Avoid women that do not cook. I don't mean for you. Avoid women that can't be bothered to even cook for themselves.
Welcome back, or welcome to Uncle ABL, and in today's video we're talking about women who refuse to cook for themselves. Not just for you, I'm talking about for herself. If she goes to restaurants a lot, all the time, she has a fridge full of carry out, but nothing she actually cooked in there, that's going to be a red flag. That's going to be a character issue. And I'm not the guy that really needs a woman to cook. It's not even about that. Cleaning, same thing. To be totally honest, we're talking about cleaning specifically. I'm probably a better cleaner than most people you're ever going to meet. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But the cooking and or cleaning thing is not even about what I can get from her. It's not even about needing her for that. It's about if she refuses to cook and maybe even clean as well, we're going to get into some deep character issues that you could avoid if you pay attention to these red flags from the very beginning. Now, before we go any further, let's get into a video right here. I don't know who the content creator is. If you guys know, please give him a shout out in the comments. But what this man says right here in this vehicle is 100% gospel, and you got to hear it. I'm going to let it play. Maybe I interrupt here and there, but afterward, I'm going to give my 2 cents and speak more about my personal opinion about it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Avoid women that do not cook. I don't mean for you. Avoid women that can't be bothered to even cook for themselves. If she gets half or more of her food from restaurants and or prepackaged food that just gets thrown in the microwave, I promise you that's the tip of the iceberg to a whole host of character flaws. You see, an objectively masculine man is constantly building. He's building his brand, his business, his career. He's building his knowledge base, his mind, constantly reading, listening, and he's building his health. You can't be in optimal health if half or more of your food comes prepackaged and or from a restaurant. So if you're being objectively masculine and doing the work, there's no room in your life for a woman that is so lazy that she can't be bothered to simply cook for herself. And I promise you, that degree of laziness indicates a long list of serious character flaws. She does not value herself, and she will not fit into the life of an objectively masculine man. Somewhere along the way, that life is just going to be too demanding for her.
Very well done. Very well said. I couldn't have said it better myself. And there's a lot I want to get into. There's a whole lot here. And I know some are going to get offended. I can hear the comments before I even post a video. Hey, ABL, well, look, I'm busy. I work 80 hours a week, all this, that, and the third. I mean, truthfully, it's not really an excuse. People find time for what they want to find time for. You know, people got these really crazy work schedules, but somehow are able to go on vacation. They're still somehow able to go party. They're still somehow able to do whatever they want to do. Okay, Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, or whoever comes in town, they're going to the Beyonce, Nicki Minaj concert, going out to the restaurant. How much time does that take? You go into a restaurant 3, 4, 5 times a week, not even necessarily to pick up the food, but also to sit down and have drinks and whatnot. You have time, but people choose what they want to have time for. And if you really don't have time, that's something different. But if you don't have time to cook for yourself, how do you have time for anything? How do you have time for a relationship? How do you have time for children? How do you have time for anything? You see? So what he was talking about is not even about the guy wanting her to cook for him and wanting to be the king of the castle, kick his feet up and do nothing. It's not even about that. It's about there's some character issues here. There's some laziness here, and that laziness, those character issues are going to manifest themselves in a variety of different ways. The first red flag is refusing to cook for yourself. If you don't want to cook for yourself, what are your cleaning habits like? That's going to be a problem because, okay, do you just get up in the morning, throw stuff on the ground? You don't pick anything up. You got to do a deep clean every week because the house is filthy from Sunday to Saturday. You have bad habits, and those habits are going to manifest themselves in different ways. The laziness is different ways. Okay, it'll be the 0 hour. You've not done anything. Then you want to get everything done at the very last minute. We got bills that are not being paid on time because you're not thinking, you don't really care to pay it on time. It's just stuff like that will happen. IRS come knocking. Hey, you guys not paid taxes in the past 3-4 years. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I didn't have time. You see what I'm talking about? Some may say that I'm exaggerating. I'm doing a little bit too much, but am I exaggerating? I don't think that I am, not in the least bit. And that cooking piece is very important because your health is your wealth. If you don't understand how to prepare food and what food to prepare, that's going to be an issue. And there may come a time where you can't always go to a restaurant. What about times of up and down financial issues and you refuse to cook? Listen, I'm not saying everybody's got to be some kind of A1 top tier chef. That's not what I'm saying. But it's about an effort thing. You know how to read, you know how to, use your hands, and you know how to, you can see, you can cook. You may not be the best cooker in the world. And if you're just getting started, some of your stuff might not be the best tasting. A lot of you girls are finding recipes on TikTok and you try to make it. Sometimes your stomach start bubbling. I understand it's trial and error, but you got to go out there and try. Because you got to eat. That's one thing we all got to do. We got to eat food. We got to drink water. We have to do it or else we don't live. So if you don't understand the basic things to do to keep yourself living and you refuse to do it, see, it's one thing to not understand it very well. It's something else when you refuse to do it. That right there shows me that you don't care about yourself. And if you don't care about you, how are you going to care about me? How are you going to care about children? How are you going to care about anything at all? Again, that is a big, giant red flag if she refuses to cook. But also the cleaning part, that's going to be really big because, okay, you cooking. Now, what about your cleaning? You got stuff all on the ground. Now you can attract rodents and insects and things of this nature. What about when kids come along? The house is going to be a complete mess. And it also leads to house maintenance. If you don't see that things wrong with the house because you're not focused on having a clean and kept house, you're easily going to miss things. If you are a homeowner by yourself as man, woman, or whatever, and you refuse to clean up, you may refuse to engage in maintenance. That's why you have a yard that looks crazy. It's not been cut in forever. You're refusing to paint your home when it needs to be painted. You got siding falling off. You don't really care about appearance of the home. You don't really care about maintenance because you don't care about being clean. You don't care about the interior maintenance when it comes to the cleanliness. Okay, we got stuff on the ground. We got spills. We got dirty pots and pans in the sink. You don't care about basic internal maintenance. Therefore, you don't care about the external maintenance and some things that are interior you can't see. Okay, we got a leak. Where's leak coming from? Oh, don't worry about that. I'm not even really tripping. I'm not cooking. I don't clean. So what? I'm going to totally ignore that because that's where my mind is. You see how all these smaller red flags, the cooking and cleaning, I refuse to do it, and I'm not really focused on cleaning. These red flags can lead to other issues. It is an indicator of great personality traits. As my man said, that is the tip of the iceberg. And I know y'all out there know that there are some issues like this you may have faced. You may have seen somebody that refused to cook, that got most of the food from restaurants, and they go into fast food all the time. Let me know what you saw later that emanated from that character flaw. Think about it for a minute. You might not even put it together. You might not have put together the fact that she has a fridge full of carryout from Olive Garden or whatever. You might not have put two and two together. Like, hey, yeah, she never did cook and she barely was cleaning, all this and that. If you got a regular size house and she's bringing up the idea of a nanny or a maid, see, that's that laziness right there. And laziness is going to be an issue because you got to work through things in a relationship. You got to work through things in life. And if someone is so lazy that they don't want to clean up after themselves, they don't want to cook a basic meal for themselves, then what are they going to do when the really big issue comes about that you really got to put a lot of effort, energy, and work into? They're not going to rise to the occasion, but you already knew that because of how they behaved with basic small things like cooking and cleaning for themselves. And that's pretty much all I got. Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.